Excellent! Here we go. Slice. Par putt. Par.
Test 1, 2. Sega.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the stream. Hey, that was just a little gameplay of the Nintendo Switch. Some of my favorite games. I don't know, I just thought I'd throw a little mix in. And anyway, we're here tonight to talk about the Nintendo Switch, but I've also got a special guest with me here tonight that's going to help me talk about the Nintendo Switch and other gaming consoles. And let's give it up for my good friend, the Gaming Road Warrior. There he is. Say hello to everybody, Gaming Road Warrior. Mike.
Aloha, everyone. Good to see everyone.
Yes, it's great to have you here with me. It looks like we've already got some people in the chat, which I don't have that window open yet, but I just want to give a shout out to. Let's see who. Oh my goodness, will have to help me catch up. Off Grid Arcade, my big friend Off Grid Arcade. We've also got yourself, the Gaming Road Warrior, in here. We've also got Retro Arcade Music Man. We got Gamers Effects. And do you see anybody else I'm missing there, Mike? I think I've covered the gamut so far.
That looks about it right there.
Okay, maybe even old maybe old Poe will even show up sometime tonight. We'll see. I don't know. He's but again, I want to thank Mike for coming on tonight. What you saw was just I just threw it together while Mike and I got our stuff together to come on, a little intro piece there. I think I played heck, what did I play, Mike? One of the cool ones was the new one I just got was a golf game. Let me I've got my Switch brought up here on the other screen if I could wake it up. There it is. Well, nuts. Well, anyway, I've got there. I got the back. Yeah, I played the. It's called The Golf. It was on sale at the Nintendo Switch store. Another one I played was my flight simulator, and I'll tell you what, that is just a blast to play. I don't know what you guys thought of that, but I managed to get the plane on the ground. I only got 3 stars on one and 4-star landing, but your goal was to get 5. But I think the pilots were a little roughed up. And Beach Buggy Racing is the only game I ever played on my II Arcade. Yeah, I see that Off Grid mentioned that. I know that Beach Buggy Racing is also available on the II Arcade.
Oh, that's correct. Yep, on the II Arcade.
But I just, my son moved home. You all know the Unknown Gamer. He came home from the military and moved in with us. And he said that one of the first things he wanted to get was a Nintendo Switch. And I was telling Mike this story earlier, and I'll tell you, I had old 2600, and then the kids had some games that are growing up, but I just never was much into I'll be honest with you, I never was much into the arcade games back then, and the console type games. And then I think y'all have heard me talk before about having the arcade room, where I got the At Games Legend, I got the pinballs, but when I saw this Switch, I thought, wow, that's a cool device. Handheld, plus you can turn it into a console, lots of games. So I got one, and my first love was, let me bring it, you can't see the screen I'm looking at, my bad, was Mario Karts, because I played Mario Karts on my my Raspberry Pi, the emulator, and once I saw it had that new Mario Karts on it, I just fell in love with it. I had to have it. So that.
Oh yeah.
So Mike, I'm gonna give it to you a little bit and tell us a little bit about your what got you into the Nintendo Switch, other than you're a man of a lot of games, but but tell us a little bit about your first experience with the Switch and what your thoughts are.
Oh, sure. Well, originally, I never planned on buying the Nintendo Switch on account. I'm not a fan of like consoles merged in with handhelds, but that changed my mind when I actually got to try it out. I think at Target, I got to play a little bit of it, and it was the Zelda game, Breath of the Wild, and that's what made me change my mind. I'm like, wow, Zelda looks really good, like the environments but the only thing is, for me, when I got the console, console slash handheld, I didn't want to use it as a portable device, so I just strictly used it for a console. So I have it set up on my TV. But because of you, G.Parker, and Off Grid Arcade, you guys been playing pinball on it, and now it's like, well, I got pinball on the Nintendo Switch, and that's what I like to bring with me if I go out anywhere, is play some pinball on my Nintendo Switch. So now I appreciate the aspect that I can bring my games with me. As before, I wasn't really into that. I never had a Game Boy growing up. I know I borrowed one from my friend once, but I just, really preferred playing on a television and sitting on the couch or on the floor.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I'd have to say now. See that it's okay. You got everybody's different. I think the thing that really sold me on it at the time was the handheld aspect, plus the TV thing. Uh, and the other thing I like, of course, I'm wanting another one now. It's another docking, and not another Switch, but a docking station.
Oh, yeah.
And this one that I bought, the first one I bought when I bought this one back around Christmas time, I can't find that same docking station. It's an aftermarket one, but because I'm lazy, and I've got the one in the arcade room, I've got the one here in the office, but the big 75-inch TV, the Unknown Gamer has his because he's living here with us, but he's moving next week, and he's going to take that with him. And I told him, I said, you can't take that with you, but it's his. But I told you can't take it. So I need another docking station because I don't want to go unplugging stuff. I want to be able, and that's the thing I like about it too. I can pick it up and put it in the arcade room. I can put it in my office. I can put it, and I can take it. You were correct when I like playing the pinball, and I'll tell you what, honestly, that beach buggy racing is a fun game to play just in the handheld mode. So,
yeah, that looks so much fun to play. Have you played the what's that called? I'm looking through my email. The Cruisin' Blast.
Yes.
I know I have Cruisin' USA for the N64, but I seen Cruisin' Blast over at GameStop, and I wanted to pick it up. I should pick it up tomorrow. It's like only $19 at GameStop right now. What a good deal.
Yes. And I'll tell you what, let me change screens here. Let me see if that worked. There's one I just got today. If you'll see this one up here, it's called Asphalt 9. Asphalt 9. It was free.
Oh, wow.
There's a catch in there, and they warn people. So I think it'd be more of a warning to parents who have teenage kids. I don't have any, but I don't know if it pertained to you, Mike, or not. But the game's free, and you can win to achieve more cars and more levels, or you can pay for them. So it's a free version, but it has in-app purchases. Now, my whole thing was not to purchase anything and just play. And I'll tell you what, I was playing it earlier today before we came on. Free game, free racing game. It's kind of cool. So there is some free stuff out there. And just to show you, yes, I've got FX Pinball, Beach Buggy Racing, the Flight Simulator. Of course, I've got and I'll tell you, this is another one. And I believe you joined in with us.
Yes. The bowling.
Yes, that to me, bowling and I'm going to mention Arcade Kaos because I just saw him pop in. Arcade Kaos was showing something on his channel about something he got at Five Below. That's a discount store, and I didn't bring him down here tonight, but I actually got some badminton rackets that hold your Joy-Cons. So when you're playing tennis or badminton on your Nintendo Sports, 2 of them, $5.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So Five Below has Nintendo Switch accessories, cheap accessories, but it's a tennis racket. And Off Grid might appreciate that. They actually had a $5 putter, a golf putter. So. There you go.
I like those accessories. So much fun.
Yeah. So anyway, so Mike, so what all do you have on your what different games do you have on yours?
Well, I got let's see, I got Double Dragon 4 that I ordered from Limited Run Games, as well as Zombies Ate My Neighbors. So that was a Super Nintendo game. Let's see, what else? Ninja Saviors, which is Ninja Warriors for the Super Nintendo. And I just recently got, what was it? I'm trying to think. I don't have any racing games. So I got Mario Kart. That one's fun. All the Mario Brothers games on there. Zelda. I got Is it that one? Breath of the Wild and Link's Awakening, I believe. So I got quite a bit of Switch games. I also like ordering them from Limited Run. I'm not sure if anybody's familiar with that company.
What
It's
is it
good.
now?
Limited Run Games, and you can pre-order your game. It takes a while for them to ship it to you, and of course make the game. I think Mr. Postile ordered, was it Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, and that was like a really bad NES game. But of course, I don't blame him because it holds like a lot of nostalgia for Poe. So good for him
Sure.
on that. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I got quite a bit of games on the Switch. I do need a racing game though because I think Mario Kart's like the only racing game. But I'm thinking about getting that Cruisin' Blast because that looks fun to play too.
Cruisin' Blast is fun. I did like the beach buggy racing. I'm just trying to see.
I gotta try that too. Yeah.
Trying to see any. I really like the racing games, and I'll tell you who kind of got me into some of these games is Arcade Chaos. I watched his channel quite a bit, and he plays the Switch, and I know that I was watching him do a lot of racing games. And a matter of fact, there's one Chaos that you got that the guy's on a motorcycle, and I can't remember the name of that. So if you put that in the chat, it looked like it was kind of almost like beach buggy racing, only a guy was on doing tricks and stuff on a motorcycle. So if you can think of the name of that or know what I'm talking about, Chaos, let us know. So
I wanted to share something with Arcade Chaos. I remember watching one of his videos, and he had like a shooter, and it was like a naughty shooter. So I'm like, what the heck is this game? And then I don't know where he finds it, but I was just laughing. Good game, Chaos. I remember when you had that video up.
Another good racing game is Cars 3. Driven Towing. Driven Towing, I think is the name of it. It's a Disney Pixar Cars 3 little racing game. You get to, what's his name? Mater, the tow truck.
Oh, yeah.
Speed McQueen. And let's see, I've also got, and I'll tell you, and here's a big thing I like. The one thing that they have on the Switch is YouTube. And I've watched the Gaming Road Warrior on my Switch.
Nice.
So, if you're at...
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, besides that, did you see that game that you can actually use a remote control car? You build up your own obstacle course, and you can play, I think, Mario or Luigi. I mean, that's... Who'd have thought you could make a game like that and then just play in your living room, but you're playing on your Switch using the Switch as a remote control for the car.
Right, it's got the car. Saw it the other day. I went into GameStop looking for another one of these docking stations, and they had the Luigi car and the Mario car. I think around 90 some bucks. But then you get the download the software from Nintendo, which is free when you buy the car. And your car actually reacts to your gameplay. It's I don't know. It might be something I might look into. I don't know. I don't have the world's biggest living room, but I guess I could pull all the cars out of the garage and give it a go. So let me ask you something, Mike. So you said you were very honest with us about liking the console games, and you did find an advantage eventually to having it portable. But
yes.
So I guess I can answer my own question and say I guess it's up to personal preference, but you also own other console games.
Yes.
Can you give us a little enlightenment of, other than the obvious differences, just talk about that a little bit as far as
Sure.
any differences made? Oh, sure, I'll just give you the floor. Go ahead.
Sure. Well, I own a PlayStation 5 that I currently play a lot on. If nobody here knows, I love playing Call of Duty Warzone with my friends. So I usually play with them late at night. like about from 9 to 11 p.m. We just play Warzone on my PlayStation. And also, I got a Xbox One, so it's the X. I don't have the Series X. That's the new one that came out. But I have that console. I got a Panasonic 3DO, which is very nostalgic for me because I think I was one of the few teenagers that had that system. I was able to get it from this like retro game store for super cheap. I think I paid $40 for it, and also an Atari Jaguar. They just wanted to get rid of it. It wasn't selling, so I got a really good deal. I just remember having that because I was coming off from Super Nintendo, which I loved, and then to have like a disc-based system, like, oh wow, there's actors and actresses in the game, FMV for full motion video games. Really got into that. And then let's see, I love PlayStation. I mean, I remember getting a PlayStation 1. I got that console, as well as the PlayStation 2, 3, and of course I still have my 4, which is in here in the bedroom. And let's see, GameCube, another favorite of mine. Sega Genesis, I got that console. And let's see, what else? The VR, of course. I love playing with you guys, the VR headset. And N64, that's here. And I got like a CRT TV. I know you can't see it because of the background, but I have a CRT that I play my N64. And I never grew up with one, but I just really recently got into it by watching people play it on YouTube. And I always hated the controller, right? So I actually got, show you, I got like this new controller, which is Rumble. And I don't, come on, there we go.
There you go. Yeah,
green. And it has
green.
an analog right here, as opposed to that middle stick that I was never used to. I know, if you play it enough times, you get used to it, the boomerang controller, but that's why I never got into it. But when I got that controller, I started playing Mario Kart. Was it like Conker's Bad Fur Day? I got all the Cruisin' USA games, Blitz, GoldenEye. Oh, so many wonderful games. And then just to kind of clarify too, between the two sets, so there's the disc-based consoles, right? And then the cartridge-based, which, the Nintendo Switch is a cartridge-based console. Who'd have thought, like, your cartridges would be a little small SD card? And I'm so glad they went with that because, when my son grows up, hopefully, when he starts getting into the Switch will probably be like a retro gaming system for him. Right. And then he can buy, those SD cards, which I find to be really, I think they'll last longer compared to a disc. Because nowadays, so I have a problem. Like one of my GameCube games was just kind of lightly scratched, and it doesn't want to play anymore. I think it's Eternal Darkness. So I got to buy another game, which I looked up the price, and it's expensive to buy another Eternal Darkness. And it's just that fact, disc-based games, especially you don't know how the other owner took care of it. And what really horrified me, seeing friends that used it as what do you call it, like cup holders. They set their drinks on it. I'm like, why would you do that? But then you look at the games, and they're like, a lot of them are scratched. It's really, really hard to find ones in immaculate conditions, because I take good care of my games. If I plan on selling them, they're going to be just like they were new, because I really, especially when I was growing up, because my parents, they would never, if I broke the game, that's it. I'd have to wait till like next Christmas or my birthday to get another game. So I really took care of my stuff when I was growing up. But yeah, I prefer the cartridge. They're so much better to collect for. But still, if I do look around in the wild and I see like GameCube games, then yeah, I like collecting those. But it's just, just that's the only con, is like sometimes they're scratched and they won't work anymore,
Right. Well, I know that, things have come a long way. Let me see if I can remember how to do this. Get us back to, I want to kind of give you the spotlight there for a minute. But yeah, we've come a long way. I mean, there was, heck, some of them, I'm sure some of the old stuff was even tape driven, wasn't it? Were some of them tape drive?
Oh, geez. I didn't have it. You mean like the computers? Yeah, I'm not that old where I had like I seen PCs that run off cassette tapes.
Yeah.
You know, I think Metal Jesus Rocks. He has that. I think is the computers that I remember playing on Commodore 64. I think that's the oldest one I've ever played. And I had to program a game like me and my cousin. We wanted to play chess on it, and it took us a while. We had to look at this textbook and then type up a bunch of commands. And by the time we started playing, we got bored. So we went outside to go ride our bicycles. So it's like, oh, yeah, chess, it's not fun. So, yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out I put in the chat a link to Arcade Kaos because he just posted, I believe it was just a little bit ago today. I'll go over there and look real quick, see when it was posted. He did a video on Nintendo Switch Online, what new games they give us. So I put a link in the chat. So if anybody's interested in checking out Chaos's channel, and I'll try to get that link and put it in the description of this, so you don't have to leave now. But I'll put it in the description of this video so you can see that. And he also, I put it up on the chat. He did give us the name of that game. I'll have to go back through there. I think. Doggone it, Chaos! I lost it. But anyway, I'll find it later. But Off Grid, I guess Off Grid's installing Asphalt 9 right now. He heard free game, racing game, and he says he's installing it right now. So
Nice.
So at least we did something good tonight. So
Yep.
So my next question is, and it's something that I went ahead and got when I got this, and I think actually Off Grid's pretty familiar with this because I think he has this. He and I discussed this. It's you can buy an online package, and I know you've got that too, Mike. So you can play some of these games online, which mean that you can, and they sell family plan too. So that's one thing about these modern devices. And again, I can't speak for the other ones, but the Switch, it's kind of cool that they do have. Mine keeps falling asleep here, and I keep pushing the wrong button and taking a capture. So I've got a ton of pictures on here now. But it's well, that's another thing that it does. It does have a capture device. You can capture 30 seconds worth of video, or on your controller, you can do that. But I love the online thing. With the Nintendo Sports, you can play online against other people. A matter of fact, we've done that, Mike and Off Grid and Mr. Poe. We all played a little bowling one time. And you also have those systems like if you buy the expansion pack, you get the Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, and even some Sega games that are thrown into the queue. And I think that's what my point was that's what Arcade Kaos was talking about was in his video. So that'd be a good video to follow up on when you get done here, folks, is check that out. And I will put it in the link after we get done with the video tonight. Let's say hello to some other people. We've got here Shadow Snakes Zone. Yes. Yep. Welcome. And did I miss anybody else? I think
My Arcade.
My Arcade.
Yep.
Welcome to the stream tonight. So anyway, yeah, I'll tell you. So I was talking about subscription services. I'm unaware. Are there comparable, something like it with the other systems that you mentioned, Mike? Are they all kind of follow in line with each other?
I know like the Xbox has that type of plan where you can play a lot of games on their platform. And also PlayStation has something like that as well, but I think between the two, Xbox does a better job, even though I'm more partial to the PlayStation myself. But I think their setup's a lot more, more better compared to the PlayStation. I'm sure they'll catch up on there. And also, I'm trying to think of the other consoles I got that do that. No, I think those are the only two. And of course, the Switch.
Right. Off Grid says that Kelly whipped us up on all on bowling, and he is absolutely correct.
Oh,
His wife,
yeah.
Kelly. Jeez. But if you've been watching my videos, my wife is tearing me up on the V-Pin. I finally won one last night. But see, there's another subscription service. Of course, you've got on your PC, you've got Epic Games, you've got Steam, and then Zen on the FX, the new FX, which people have asked me all the time, is this FX4? No, you had FX2, FX3, and then the newest one is FX. There's no number. But they're offering a subscription service. You can buy the games, or you can pay a year subscription. And see, I've got a subscription. I told you I got started out with At Games, so I've got a subscription service with them. And that's $20 a month, but if you buy 6 months in advance, that's $60. So it's $10 a month if you buy 6 months. Get you their pinball and a lot of their retro arcade net games. I'm not saying it's not a bad value, but then this Nintendo Switch, it's about the same price. No, I think it's about $60 for a year. And you can buy a family plan, which that's something I need to get with Off Grid about, because I think he has the family plan, and I think I wish I'd have gone with that. It was a little bit more. But I guess what I'm saying is all this gaming stuff is DLC, download content, and I think that's what Mike was headed toward when he talked about actually buying the physical. I mean, am I right, Mike? You go ahead and talk about that a little bit. You like having the physical game, right?
Yeah, I prefer collecting physical games as opposed to digital. I mean, I'm going to let those that collect digital, I'm not against it because it has its place, especially if you don't want to collect a physical library. I totally understand that. But just for me, I like collecting physical games. Child of the 80s, I've always collected physical, especially when I went into the Navy. I just bought games. Now, I usually don't buy used stuff. I usually like to buy the new games. And from my collection, it's been made up most games are new. I know like a lot of people, they bought, they will go to yard sales or flea markets and they bought like a bunch of games for super cheap. But I think I'm probably one of the few people that actually bought a lot of my games brand new when they came out. But as far as, wanting to go digital, it has its place. Like pinball, there's a good example. They're not going to make a digital game. Now, I've seen, what's that one? Stern have that you can buy an actual physical game on it. And it was like on GameStop. I seen like the disc, and I was interested in getting that because I don't know if you've seen this happen, but remember from, was it the Wii store? They stopped, or I'm not sure if they stopped yet, but they're closing it down here soon, or they did it already. You can't get those games anymore, and I think they're doing that for the PlayStation 3 as well, because you'll have your chance to get what you need off of there, but after they close that server, that's it. So unless you got, is anybody familiar with GOG? They're on, they're like Steam. And the only difference with GOG is they give you the games DRM free. What that means is that you get the game and you can make as many copies as you want to preserve that title that you bought. Now, Steam doesn't let you do that. You have to log in, and then I think you can be able to play the game. Hence why I like GOG a little bit more. But yeah, that's a good way of doing digital, because then, hey, I got a backup. I'll put it on my external hard drive. But if you get it from the major manufacturers like PlayStation or Xbox, one day, what happens when they close that server down? You're not going to be able to get that game anymore, And it's not like, oh, I can just make a copy of it. No, they don't let you do that either. And Nintendo is pretty strict with people doing that with their system. Even though I talked to a friend of mine, excuse me, Kat, telling me that there's people out there that like hacking the systems, and they've already found a vulnerable spot on the Switch. So, but yeah, hence why I like physical. If that game is gone, like, oh shoot, I broke it. I'm pretty sure I can still find it out in the wild, unless we're talking about like little Samsung or something. It's like, I can't replace that. It's too expensive.
Right. Well, I know that I know what you're talking about, because it's on the at games. I've been watching those forums because I'm involved in that. You can buy downloadable content, add-ons for your game. One of them is their pinball packs. They got Zachariah games, and they've got, I don't know, I haven't been on there in a while. They got a variety of stuff. And one of the complaints is once you download it, and you actually download it to a thumb drive that hooks to your cabinet, but you can't copy that thumb drive and back it up, because it's registered to that machine. And if you do copy it, I guess I'm not saying that right. You can copy it, but what happens is when you put that back in your machine, it has to go online and make sure that you're the owner of it. Well, some people have said, well, so what happens if you guys go away? You go out of business. I mean, I'm not criticizing at games, but they're a newer company. I'd take my chances more with Nintendo than I would them. I mean, Nintendo, how long have they been around?
Oh, yeah, they've been around a long time.
Yeah. I mean, and you're more of a historian on this, and I don't want to catch you off guard, Mike, with a question that you might not know the answer to, but am I correct that at one time Nintendo had ceased making any type of game hardware for a while, and they were just going into the software business, and then they brought them back when they came back with the Wii? Or have they always, am I mistaken? Was that somebody else I was thinking about?
Oh, that's somebody else. Sega, actually, when they couldn't compete from the failure, from of course, the Sega Saturn, and then the Sega Dreamcast, that's when they decided to.
That's right.
They decided to just be a software company. I think Konami's the same way too. They made great games. I don't know why they stopped making games. And I think they're more focused on pachinko, machines in Japan right now.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, because of the Sega Saturn and the excuse me, cat, the Dreamcast. Yeah, they're not making any more consoles, which is sad, because I really do miss them, and really wish they were still back, because they did make great games, especially during the Sega Genesis. I wasn't really a fan of them because I was a Nintendo fanboy during that time, but now that I'm older, I have one and I played some of their games. It's just like, wow, I really wish I wasn't closed-minded about it back then, and then just tried some of their games out, because like a favorite of mine on there is like Streets of Rage 2, favorite beat 'em up. Yeah, they come out with some good games, and then Sonic. And I started liking Sonic more too.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yep,
See, that's the one. That's why I knew that the kids had a Sega game, because I remember one time the kids were all gone somewhere, and the wife and I were alone, and we broke that out and played Sonic the Hedgehog on it. And I'm pretty sure it was and I'm not very well versed on these. I'm pretty sure it was a Sega Saturn.
Oh, okay, the Saturn, yeah.
Yeah, I just for some reason that name.
Yeah, I had both of those systems too. Yeah, that's so funny. I ended up selling it to a roommate of mine in the Navy. He ended up with it so I can get a PlayStation, because I wanted to try that out. But I regret. I wish I hadn't sold it, because I did have a lot of games for it, and now looking for those games, it's too expensive to collect. Yeah.
Now, of course, the next generation of stuff, I haven't even hit their, let's see, Shadow Snake Zone. I saw some new people in here. Just wanted to not leave anybody out.
Ares Moore? I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
Okay, yeah. I don't know why my stream. So yeah, welcome. Anyway, yeah, if you see anybody else in there, Mike, give them a
Sure.
shout out. But okay, so the next generation and
Yes.
is what you have, I have, I know Off Grid, and I know Retro Arcade Music Man and Mr. Postile. All of us that kind of band together at one time or another have the gosh, I can't pronounce it right. It's late. The Meta Quest, the Quest 2, virtual reality headset. So, what is? All right, let's back up. Didn't they come out with the first virtuality headset?
Well, they have their own. I haven't tried it. Perfect person to ask that, Mr. Postile. He owns the PlayStation headset.
Okay.
I'm not sure how what games he's played on it.
Right. But so what do you call a Quest? Is it a console? Is it a hand? It's a handheld. It's not a handheld. I mean,
I think it's its own league. We're thinking about it because it's just a headset. I know, like for the PlayStation VR, you got to hook it up to your PlayStation, and then of course those ones for the PC, they need the the PC to run it. And I think ours is able to run. Off Grid was talking to me about that. You can hook up our MetaQuest 2 to the PC as well. I think that enhances the graphics. I think that's what he was talking to me about. So I haven't tried it yet.
There are some games that are available only on PC. I know that I'm big into the pinball, and I know some of the virtual pinball people with pinball FX and whatnot are making VR pinball games. Now, the Quest has some. They actually have FX2. I never have figured that out. That's the oldest FX pinball tables out there. But man, I'll tell you what, they are crazy cool. Have you tried any of those yet, Mike, on your VR, the pinball?
No. I watched you guys play it. Like the Star Wars one interests me. I want to get that one to play.
Yes, it's definitely a league of its own. Yeah, and unfortunately, with the VR, if you're watching anything that any of us have put out on YouTube, it doesn't do them justice because you're seeing it in 2D on the screen.
Yep.
So I'll tell you what. So it looks to me. I'll tell you what. For me personally, I think the Switch was the answer to my console dreams. It's got games that I like you. I think you said you were kind of a Nintendo fan guy way back when, and I always have too. I think you can tell by my shirt. I mean, I just picked the shirt up yesterday, and the wife says, "You need another one of those." I said, "I need a new one for my stream tomorrow night." We're talking. What do you got on there, Mike? What do you got on?
Return of the Living Dead T-shirt.
Yeah, there you go. But I like the name. I like the name Nintendo. I think it's a quality product. I like the fact that you can buy it online, you can play online, you can compete against friends online. Especially at a time that we're coming out of, thank God, the COVID thing. But it's a great way. I mean, I've got you, a friend. Well, let's look at our relationships here. We've got you out in the West Coast.
Yes.
We've got Poe dang near on the East Coast. You've got two of our guys, Retro Arcade Music Man and Off Grid, that are in the south to southwest. And I'm stuck right here in the middle in Missouri. So, and we can all play against each other, and chat and talk and have a good time. So the one thing about this new modern gaming stuff and the online capabilities is it's bringing people together to have a good time.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Oh, especially like the VR where we can actually see each other, our avatars.
I'll tell you a guy that's not. It was kind of interesting. One time, I forget who all was in there. I think it was Retro Arcade Music Man, and he brought in Brooklyn Menace. And it was kind of interesting because I've seen Brooklyn has showed up on my streams. I've showed up and watched his channel. And all of a sudden, I get a chance to actually meet face-to-face, avatar to avatar, but still you're talking in real time.
Oh, yeah.
It's not some synthesized voice or type chat. And we actually played a little golf and had a nice little conversation. As a matter of fact, I think Retro lost his connection or had to go somewhere, and me and Brooklyn Menace got to just talk smack on him for quite a while. I'm just teasing Retro. But it does bring... Now, on the other side of this, and I don't want to get too far carried away with this, but because I may hit on something. It's late night, but the minute we bought that thing... All right, let's change gears again. I'll build up to this story. The flip phone. Your flip phone, when we started having cell phones, because, Mike, I'm not sure how much younger you are than I am, but I remember when there was no cell phones. I remember when there were no answering machines. If you weren't home, you didn't answer the phone. You just didn't. There's no phone call. Well, they came out with a flip phone, and the first thing I said is beam me up, Kirk. It was from a movie. Watch. Oh, now I'm going to draw a blank. Arnold Schwarzenegger. No, not Arnold. Sylvester Stallone, Sandra Bullock, Wesley Snipes. They all ate at Taco Bell. Come on, what was the name of that movie?
Demolition
Man. Demolition Man. Do you remember the scene with Sandra Bullock and Sylvester Stallone where they both wore headsets?
Oh, yeah.
The minute I saw that quest, I said, that's from that movie. They were having a adult relationship, but in the future world, there was no touching each other because of, contamination. So they just wore these headsets. And I looked at my wife and I said, well, my God, we need two of these. So, you start thinking about what is being shown on TV or in the movies now that's going to come to fruition, in the future. A neat thing I saw the other day from my pinball machine is now they have a 3D. What do you call? I'm terrible. It's getting late night tonight. You put it on top of your pinball machine. It's got a projector and a fan, and it makes a image that's floating in the air. What do you call it?
Yeah, I've seen those before. Like a friend of mine had it in his house to project a ghost, it's coming out of the window. Yeah, it's some sort of hologram.
Hologram. That's good grief, Mike. They sell a hologram. I've got to have this. It's for my Stranger Things pinball machine. You put it up there, and it projects the Demogorgon.
Nice.
It projects the characters in the movie doing things, and I think you can even plug it into the machine, and when you're in Demogorgon mode, it shows this thing is cool. It's got a hell of a price tag too, but I just gotta have it. I'm looking to getting that thing because can you imagine the stuff they're coming up with?
Oh yeah. You're speaking of something I just got reminded of on the VR headset. I talked about it with Mr. Postow and Off Grid. So I just bought the Twilight Zone VR experience, and I didn't realize that you can actually buy a vest, and it has, I think, 32 sensors on it, right? So if you get killed on it, like when the monster kills you, it's clawing you, you get to feel that sensation on your chest. I looked at the price. I think it's around, around $400. I think. Yeah,
They call it a haptic vest or something like that.
yeah, like
Haptic.
it's a feedback vest,
Yeah,
and they were
I
actually
saw that.
advertising it on the game. When I bought the game, I looked down like, oh, you can buy other accessories. I'm like, what is this vest? And then I read about it. I'm like, oh wow, that just makes it a little bit more scary. Like you can actually feel yourself getting killed on the game. So yeah, you can get real immersive if you want with the VR.
Off Grid was reminding me. He said he was polite. He said a hologram. You should have put a hologram, you idiot. I tell you what, I can't think. I can't remember stuff to save my soul. If we were talking to face, you'd say a hologram, you nut. Anyway, let's see. Retro Arcade Music Man. VR was the greatest $400 I spent in a long time. Yeah, I'll tell you
Oh
what.
yeah, definitely.
They're
Love
you know
VR.
it was the see, I'm terrible. It was the unknown gamer Travis's birthday when I decided to get mine because he bought the Switch first, and I went out and bought one after that. Well, I bought. He was actually out of town, and I knew his birthday was coming up, so I wanted one for me, and I just couldn't help it. I bought two, and it's kind of
Yeah.
funny though because we've decided now to go to separate rooms where we're playing mini golf against each other because we have slammed into each other.
Well, it's like Off Grid next to his wife when they're on their VR. I kind of like, oh, like if you're playing golf, you might swing into each other or something.
I think Off Grid, you can put in the chat if this is true or not, but I think Off Grid smacked his dog a few times.
Oh, yeah, I think he said something about that. Yeah, I gotta be careful. Like, I have to kind of look down on my feet sometimes to make sure my cat's not near me. So I just don't want to like kick or step on my cat. So because sometimes it just sleeps by my foot when I'm doing VR. Yep.
But I think we both agree that the Switch. I mean, so Mike, I know you like the PlayStation and the Xbox, but somebody who was, I guess, and it looks like most of our people, unless somebody watched this on the playback, but are gamers anyway, so they probably already made up their mind. But I know that if I had a friend who had a youngster, especially if it was somebody like yourself and Travis, the Unknown Gamer, and myself, we are kind of like you. We like to keep our stuff really pristine. I mean, Travis had a handheld game a long time ago. I forget which one it was that, I mean, I don't know what happened to it because of all the moves and stuff, but I remember he kept that thing pristine. And we're the same way with our Switches. But I think as far as an entry level, somebody that's wanting to get into console but wants to have a little fun, for the price point, I think the Nintendo Switch is a good value.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Yeah, I agree. And also a plus on that, it's like it uses cartridges. I mean, cartridges are, you don't have to worry about scratching them up, And yeah, I'm so glad Nintendo went back to doing cartridges again, even though they're kind of small.
Yeah, they don't take up a lot of space, but see, I keep all the boxes. This, by the way, is a cool Party Arcade. I don't know. They had it. Some of the stuff they just have. I go up to GameStop, and another place I go to is that other place that got record vintage stock.
Yeah.
But and I don't mean to say anything bad about vintage stock, but their prices aren't always the best. I've seen them selling used games for more than GameStop selling the new ones for. So just to give you all advice, sometimes you got to watch. They're right across the street from each other in my community, and one time I went in there and I said, "How much is that? Is it used?" They said, "Yeah," and I said, "The new one across the street is less than that." So you got to watch vintage stock.
Oh yeah,
But I got this little thing from Nintendo, and I don't know. You can put them all in one place, and I keep the original box. But I don't know. I just think it's kind of cool.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
we got a question from Retro. He was
Sure.
wondering how much a Nintendo Switch is at. So, Retro, I'm looking at Best Buy. They have the original one comes with a 32 gigabyte storage. It's $299.99. But if I were you, I'd get the newer one, which is the OLED model, and that's $349.99. So it's better probably to go one, especially if you're going to be using it as like a handheld, and then you can bring your pinball games with you.
Yeah, and I will say this: Travis has the OLED, and I bought the non-OLED.
Yeah, that's the
And
one I got too.
now, as far as and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but as far as on the TV screen, they both produce the same video quality. But I'll tell you what, you can definitely tell a difference when you're playing it in handheld mode. That OLED one has it's slightly bigger screen. So I definitely like, if I had to do it again for the $50, I would buy the OLED. And that's what you're saying, isn't it, Mike? About $50 difference?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would definitely get the OLED one.
Yeah. So, because man, I'll tell you what, but you know, technology anyway has seems to be getting cheaper on some. I mean, I was up at Sam's Club the other day, and they got a OLED TV. I think it was 55-inch for like $350, and I mean, the picture on it was absolutely amazing. So I don't know much about what OLED stands for, but I know that Retro's saying OLED is where it's at. Yeah, the picture quality is just dramatically. The colors, the sharpness of everything.
Oh yeah, they look really nice. Yeah, OLED. Let's see, they're LG TVs, so they have that technology. I know OLED's really good, especially if you're wanting the movies to have that picture perfect color, but it requires you have like a dark room to watch it. Now, like for the Samsung TVs, that's the one I got. I have kind of a bright area, so I need more brightness. Hence why I got like a QLED 4K television in my game movie room, because I need it to be brighter, because I have like curtains, but it's still a little bit bright in that area. But yeah, if I had like a dark room, I would definitely get an OLED, because pictures.
I noticed they have one up at Sam's Club that's like thin. I mean, it's a 75-inch TV. It's thin, but I've noticed one thing: these bigger TVs, as far as for the gaming, and as far as even watching your television, the sound quality is not as good in the TVs. And I don't know if I've always said that's a conspiracy theory of mine, that they're wanting to sell you their sound bar. But my wife and I have not really. We put a new TV in, and this pertains to gaming, because she noticed it on TV. But I play a lot of my gaming now up in the living room. That I got this Nintendo Switch that I play up there. It's kind of cool to play on a 75-inch TV, but the sound is horrible. But I did buy a nice sound bar, and this Vizio sound bar is cool because it has different modes. It has dialogue mode, movie mode. It has a game mode. And I'll tell you what, I didn't think that. I thought, oh, that's got to be just some kind of hype. But I'll tell you what, it really did make the difference in the sound on these racing games. And that flight simulator's got a lot of radio chatter and stuff on it. It just made it so much clearer. I could understand.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So.
No, I agree, because my TV didn't have good sound, so I have it hooked up to my surround sound. But on a Switch, you could either go mono or stereo. So when I'm playing it, it's not using like a surround sound feature, so it's just the left and right channels that's being reproduced on the Switch for me, which sounds great. You know, when I'm playing games on that, I really like playing that. It really reminds me back then when you used to play on a Super Nintendo, because that's all it required was 2 channels. That's it.
Now, one of the things I really like about the Switch too is I mentioned playing in the living room. well, the wife might be doing something that she basically hangs out in the kitchen all day. It's kind of her spot, She's either
Yeah.
on the phone, she's got a TV up there, and I don't know. She's just that's her thing. Anyway, when I play the Switch on the TV downstairs, I can use my Bluetooth earbuds. It will Bluetooth to a Bluetooth headset. That's a cool thing about the Switch, because I'm sitting there, I can get my game turned up where I can hear good, and yet I'm not hearing her saying, "Turn the damn game down." I mean, it's not bothering her. So that's another feature of the Switch that I forgot to mention, is it does have Bluetooth connectivity for your sound.
Yeah, I think the only thing we had problems with, remember, was it the Nintendo Sports game that we got? We couldn't use the app to communicate with each other, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that's kind of odd.
Yeah.
They have a headset that they sell for the Switch that'll Bluetooth, but I don't understand why you would buy that, because as I understand it, the Switch only works for online gaming and communication with that app, and that app is horrible.
Yeah. I know Mr. Post on me when we played Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. We couldn't even talk to each other. We couldn't get the app to work, so I ended up just calling him on his phone, and that's how we were able to communicate.
Yeah, that's true. I never thought about that. And I think, now if you have multiple players, but I guess if you got, I guess you can, I don't know, I've done conference calling with
party
people.
party chat or something.
Party chat or something, or
yeah.
Or Skype. I don't know. Maybe you can figure out a way to do something. But anyway, well, listen, Mike, you got any? We've been on an hour. That's what I like to usually do. I want to make sure I see Miss Kelly Huff has joined us here tonight.
Oh, hi, Kelly.
Hi, Kelly. And I don't know. I don't think we've missed anybody. I hope we didn't miss any questions that were pertinent. But Mike, you might just take a check real quick
and
help me.
Real quick.
I'm looking as well, but making sure we didn't miss anybody or anything they wanted to talk about. But yeah, Retro, you're gonna have to. I think Retro had a Switch at one time. Retro, you need to get a Switch, because we have a lot of fun with those too. But anyway, I'm going to leave you with some. Let me just give. I'm going to give Mike the floor at the end here, but I'm just going to say that my goal here was to talk about gaming consoles, modern gaming consoles. I know a lot of us are into the retro stuff. That's kind of what got me into this. With my, I still think the Raspberry Pi is a great value for gaming. I mean, you can hook. I mean, you can hook. I got controllers all over the place. You can hook these dead gun things to it and work with about anything. Some of them are all the way from an Xbox controller to these little cheap knockoff ones. But I wanted to just kind of get a feel for that and have a topic for a change. And Mike was gracious enough to come on. So I give the Nintendo Switch a thumbs up. I'm not getting any endorsement from Nintendo. They're not giving me nothing. As a matter of fact, they charge you for everything. But so I don't want you to think that. But I would say that if I was just recommending somebody, I enjoy my Switch. As a matter of fact, I enjoy my headset, and we all kind of got into that for a while. But I put my Switch down for a while, and I just put the Oculus up for a while and went back to doing the Switch, because I just found so much fun stuff. And I'll enjoy them both, but I just enjoy it. So that was my take on it. Mike, I'm going to let you take it away and say a few words, and then we'll thank you all for being here. Don't forget, I'm here 10 p.m. Central Times on Sundays for the most part. And I also want to encourage you to visit everybody in the chat here. You guys get together, My Arcade, Retro Arcade, Music Man, Off Grid Arcade, Arcade Kaos, Arcade Kaos. We're going to have you on the show soon. But I want to encourage you to check out Mike's Gaming Road Warrior, which puts out some quality. He doesn't have a lot of stuff. I've always said quality over quantity, and Mike's putting together some good research, some good videos. You need to check him out. So go check out Mike's channel. Mike, take it away, buddy.
Sure. I'll talk about the Switch for a little bit. So I kind of forgot to mention, like, if you get one, guys, I would really highly recommend getting a Pro controller. I absolutely like using it compared to the Joy-Cons. The Joy-Cons are fine, but I like having a controller in my hand, hence why I like the Pro controller so much. I would definitely get one of those and a charger for it. So that way, once you're done with the controller, you just set it up on your charger and leave it alone until you're ready to play the Switch again. And another Easter egg too, if you're playing pinball, one of the great things about if you're bringing the Switch with you, you can set it. Instead of playing it normal, just set it standing up, kind of like how a pinball machine is vertical, and then you can use the Joy-Cons to play your pinball game. I didn't know that, and I watched someone else play. I'm like, whoa, I never knew you could do that. Yeah, you can actually switch the screen to make it like a full-size pinball, playing area. So
can I throw something in there?
Yeah.
Let me throw something in there real quick. I have a rotatable screen here in my office. Not only can you rotate it on the Switch, but if you've got it in your docking station, you can rotate the screen. And if you got I got one monitor in here that'll rotate 90 degrees, and you can actually play it in portrait mode. So that's another cool thing. So just go ahead, Mike. I just want to throw that in. Yeah.
Well, didn't you have like your pinball machine set up so you can play your Switch?
Yes.
That way? Yeah.
Yes.
See, that's really cool. Hey, your brother from another mother's here.
Let's see. My screen's gotten messed up here. Is that? Where is he at? Oh, there he is. There he is. It's your average gamer. Hello, my friend. It's good to see you here. Thanks for stopping by. So anyway, go ahead, Mike, and your average gamer. We got to get together again sometime. We talked a little pinball earlier, and I don't know. Maybe he's afraid I'll whip his butt again. I don't know. We'll have to see. I can't help it. I've been laying off of you, but I got to throw that out there. We'll see what happens. Okay, go ahead, Mike. Finish up for us. Thank you, buddy.
And lastly, if you guys get a Switch, buy more memory for it, because the one they give you, you're going to run out of the room. And I was just talking to G.Parker about that. Like he's running out of the room in his, so he's going to buy a bigger SD card to put in there. So I recommend you getting more space for your Switch if you're going to buy it. And it's totally worth it. I mean, if you're a retro gamer, even the modern games are really fun. A lot of us grew up with Mario and Link and Zelda. They're there. So, yeah, I would recommend picking up a Switch. I love it.
Okay, well, thanks, Mike. I'll tell you what, this was a lot of fun. Again, I want to urge everybody to check out Mike's channel and check out everybody else. Even your average gamer, come on, check that guy out. And I'm going to tell Mom you came on here and were picking on me, your average gamer. Come on. No, actually, he's not picking on me. He's been, he says, I'm the king, baby. Okay, you guys go back and watch that old video. We'll see who the king was. You got to come back and redeem yourself, brother. Anyway, I'm going to tell Mom. I'm going to tell her. Wait, listen, thanks, everybody, for showing up. I want to thank my regulars for coming by and some of the new people that showed up. You guys have been great. Again, a hats off to Gaming Road Warrior. Please check out his channel. He's a great guy. Arcade Kaos is coming up here pretty soon. We're going to work out a day, and we're going to feature Arcade Kaos on our channel. And don't forget to check out his video he did just today talking about some of the same stuff we were talking about here tonight about the Nintendo Switch. Have a good one, everybody. Mike, wave goodbye to everybody, and we'll see you all next time.
We had someone show up. Hollywood Polo, hello. We're going to be leaving.
Oh, Hollywood Polo. Oh, buddy. Well, we've been on for, I don't know, we've been on for an hour and 9 minutes, and gosh, it's great to see you. Haven't talked to you in quite a while, but anyway, it's great. It's great seeing you show up here tonight, and I'll leave this up for replay. So, again, appreciate you stopping by. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see y'all next time, next Sunday night. Take care, everybody.